Okay, that was just weird. Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you are all here and can hear me. Let me double check. Yeah, okay, you can hear me. And that was weird. I am here, and let's just check and see who's here. Who's that camera there? That camera there. Yes, yes, yes. I see Russ Gare from DC is here. Hello, Russ. Hello, Jose. Hello, Jose. You're second today. You're slipping up, buddy. I see DeWitt 3D Canada's here. Hello, DeWitt. Uh, Andrew Humphreys here, and Guy the Jedi is here. Nuno Vincent, Joseph Jolly. We are here, but not there. You are not here. I am here. I am here, there, and everywhere. So, hope everybody's had a wonderful week. Hope everybody's had a great weekend so far. Hope everybody's got some water. Oh, that was probably a great sound in headphones, I bet. So, as the title of the stream kind of suggests, tonight we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to, what's in this bag? Oh, that was some bag for my samples here. Couple things. I found something I didn't realize I had. So we're going to look at this first. And then where? Here, right here, Andrew, right here. We're going to look at this first, and then I'm going to spend a bit of time and show you guys the progress that I've made so far. Hey, PF Dennis. I'll show you the progress I've made so far on my 3D print pricing spreadsheet, which I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. I got a little ways to go on it yet, but I wanted to share it with you guys so you guys could be the first to see it. I will be doing a video on the spreadsheet eventually, but I still do have a little bit of work to do on it to, in my mind, perfect it so that it works well. I do sell a fair bit of 3D printing now, and I needed something to give me consistent pricing when I am quoting and selling it. So rather than just pull a number out of my head, I wanted something where I could be consistent from day to day. So we're going to look at that. It's not a perfect science. Quoting of any kind is never a perfect science. So that's where we're at with that. So what I found in the box that I'm going to put in today, I didn't even realize I had this, and I almost ordered one, but it is a Big Tree Tech. Let me get this other camera here. It's a Big Tree Tech PI TFT7. It's a 7-inch. It's a 7-inch display from Big Tree Tech. I don't know why that's not focusing on. Is this on face focus again? Maybe it is. But anyways, yeah. So that's what we're going to put on. I want to look and see if I can get that to work. I should be able to get it to work. I didn't have any ribbon cables for it for the display, but so I went ahead and ordered. When you order on Amazon, you get 3 different lengths of ribbon cables. You get a super long one, a medium one, and a short one. So, hey, non-fam, hello. So I'm gonna, for now, because I've got the back of the 2.1 opened, and we already have a 5-inch display or a 3-inch or whatever it is on the Trident here. Speaking of which, you'll notice that I've got the Trident all built together. The covers are all on. I changed my mind on the color of the frame clips or the side panel clips that I wanted to do. I left the gray on the back because it's a black back, and I went with orange for the clips all the way around otherwise. I am working on getting the electronics cover done. So in the meantime, I've turned the 2.4 on its side. And just for the demonstrations, just for the purposes of this stream for now, so I don't have to switch printers, move everything over, I'm going to use this long cable for the display rate. I think that's the longest one. Let me make sure. That's about if I had to guess, that's about a 4 foot, about a 3 or 4 foot one, which should do the trick. And then the other one, yeah, this looks like about a 2-footer, and then this looks like about a 1-footer. So it looks like you get about a 1, 2, and a 3-foot piece in there. So just for now, for the sake of doing this, I don't want to move all the cameras and everything over there. So what I'm going to do, just to see if I can get this going, is I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to go ahead and plug this ribbon into the Pi. And then we're just going to run it over sort of off to the side here. Actually, I may move this printer off to the side, and we may slide this one over a little bit. There we go. Means I got to turn the camera just a hair for you. So I always mix up whether It goes blue up, blue down. But I believe in this case, I have to go pins up, I think, because if I pop this little cap off, which this thing just sort of pops right out. If I look under, yeah, I do have connections above and below. So I know this thing shouldn't come off, but it does. So we're gonna pop this onto the Pi. See that this little black retainer clip is busted or something because it just pops right off. But I can get this thing in. I had a shorter one in here to test it not long ago. So let me see if I can get this in here and working. Let me try which end is less curled. Let me try this end. So if I push this in and then lock it in with that black clip, there we go. So that should be locked in nicely there. Let's step in front of the camera again. Okay, so I'm going to just here. Let me move this to the left camera here. So I'm just running this little cable. It's the longest. It's the longest of the couple. So I'm going to just sort of move these printers just so I can get this as close over to here as possible. There we go. And then on the back of the display, we have a display port here. And again, the blue goes down and the pins go up. If I'm not mistaken, or do the pins go down, or does it matter? Let me look inside here. Yeah, it looks like the pins have to go down. So let's pop this in here like so. These ribbon cables can be tricky. Well, for me anyways. Number one, I got massive hands. And let's push it in and lock it down. No, it still didn't go in. Blew up. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's what I thought. There we go. We got to lift that black thing. Blue goes up. I don't think I'm quite opened all the way here. Maybe if I pull that. Some of them you lift, some of them you have to pull. Maybe that's a pull. Let's just see. Come on. There it is. And if I push that in to lock it, these are just very fussy. There we go. And that's locked in. Good. So that display should be connected and working now. I do have Clipper display loaded in the config file. Let me power this on. And we're powering on. I'm just not sure if I have the display set up properly, whether it's going to come on right away. And that's considering I have it plugged in proper on the end in the Pi. I think I do. So we'll see. Hey, Guy the Jedi. Who else has popped in? Nobody else. We have 19. 19. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to quickly find my Clipper screens here. None of them are on because I rebooted my system. So I have to 10.0.0. 239 is not one of them. I think that's the rat rig. Let me just go back and see. 10.0.0. There we go. The Trident is 72. None of them are connecting right now for some reason. Is there no power on the Trident? Did I power this off? I don't usually. No. How come I've got no power to that? Got to check a plug. Hang on. Did I unplug something by mistake somewhere? Boop, boop. That's plugged in. Two printers are plugged in. Why is the Trident not turning on? Oh, there's no plug. Why is there no plug in the back of the Trident? Huh? Why did I unplug that? You know, you need a plug to get power. There we go. Now we've got power. Okay, I'm just going to let these guys boot. The 2.4 should be booted by now, but I don't recall the IP address of that. 117 is the rat rig. 239. Nope. I got to get static IPs for these things one day, guys. None of them are coming up. So because I rebooted my computer, it's probably assigned new IPs to everything. So we have to do an IP search. No wireless power yet. Not yet. There will be. Hey, Sergio HVAC, how you doing? And Jim. Hey, Jim, you didn't do it? No, you didn't. You didn't unplug it while you were here? You didn't sneak back and pull the plug on me? Where's my advanced IP scanner? Let's see. Right there. Let me just do a quick scan of the IPs here, and I'll be able to figure these out. Generally, it doesn't change the IP address on them, but sometimes when I reboot everything, it does. Here, we'll do this. You're going to plead the fifth. Usually only guilty people plead the fifth. Okay, let's see. Looks like 74 is one of them. 72 is mainsail, so 72 is definitely one of them. Here, I'll show you what there we go. That's what I'm looking at here, my advanced IP scanner. So there's a Voron 2.4, which is showing us 222. We have a mainsail at 72. So let's just go ahead and see what comes up as 72. There we go. There's our Trident. Cool. So there's our Trident. Now, if we go in here and we go 222, nope, that's not coming up as a 2.4. So let's have another look at the, oh, that's not what I wanted to look at. Let's have another look here. Showing Voron 2.4 at 222, but that can't be right. So I'm going to guess, wow, that's it. It should, Jim, I know, and it usually does, but for some reason right now it's not. And the 222 is not working as that. I have favorites listed. Oh, that's why, because I had it listed as a favorite, but it definitely doesn't have the same. So I'm going to go 185. I should write these down, is what I should do when no, it's not 185. 239. Just using the ones that I've used before. 117 was the rat rig. It's not coming up anyways. I might have the rat rig powered off. 194. That was the rat OS as well. Oh man. Hey, 3D experiments. Okay, well, give me another minute here. 72, 74. If I had these things on static IPs, I'd be much better off. This should be 239. Nope. Oh, let's run IP scanner one more time, just to see. And if I can't get this going, we will move on to the spreadsheet. But that it should go. There's no reason that 2.4 shouldn't show up here. 72 is a trident, which we've already got. $222 is not working. Unless the Wi-Fi config got messed up. Yeah, it's possible. Shouldn't have, but it's possible. Anything's possible. Let's just double check one more time. No, 222 is not going to be it. I had them written down. Let's see. No, I didn't keep it because I don't normally turn my computer off. But sometimes this happens. I'm going back to that 239 because 239 is usually, I believe, what it was before. Let me try one more thing. Let me reboot it again. If that's not working. DNS name's not working. 3D experiments it doesn't work for me. Normally I could go. I don't even know how to type the DNS name in. It's been so long, but the DNS names don't work. I have to use IP addresses. Yeah, I'm not even getting the rat rig here. So, which I believe is turned on. All I'm able to load is the trident. So let's just let's try something really quick here. Am I getting anything? I'm not even getting anything on the display now. It could be. Let's pop it off, and it could be something because I've plugged in this, and it shouldn't make a difference, but because I've plugged in this external display, maybe something's messing up. Let's unplug that. Let's turn it back on and see if I find it. Maybe I've got to configure the Pi prior to plugging the display in, because that's the only thing that changes was I plugged this display in. So we'll take that off and see if it shows up. Hey, Builder Basement, how are you? .local to the DNS name. .local. Oh, I was thinking .local doesn't work for me. DNS name, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Your Pi hangs if you power up the printer before the Pi. Well, mine kind of powers up all at the same time. Well, actually, come to think of it, I don't see any power getting to the Pi. Come to think of it, there's no light on the Pi. Why do I not have power getting to the Pi? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay. Duh. My Pi is unplugged from the power for some reason. Hang on. Let me see what I did here. Let's see. Let's turn it on again now. Oh, let me put the screen back in. I think the problem was my Pi power was unplugged. The problem is between the printer and the chair. Yes. Exactly. 3D experiments, it is. It's called user error. Okay. Now let's see. Let's see. Now the Pi is powering. Okay. That's a little embarrassing. The USB had come out of the main board, which is powering the Pi. So, oops. Oops. Okay. So, I still don't expect anything to come on this screen yet, on the display, because it may not be. set to go to the display yet, but yeah, now we have power. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, so now I should be able to come here. I should really be able to, there we go, 239, there's a Voron 2.4. There we go. Okay. Now, this is where my lack of expertise or thereof comes in, because right now there's nothing showing on this display. I'm going to assume now, the only other thing I'm not 100% sure is if I have it plugged in the right way on the Pi, but I'm pretty sure I do. But let's just, so what I wanted to do was go into the, and the reason I wanted to get these clipper screens up, there we go, is that I want to go into the Trident and I want to see what I have in my print config file for my display settings. I know we have clipper screen loaded on both. So if we come in here and find my displays, there's nothing under my display settings. So is it all controlled by clipper screen? Is that what's going on? Clipper screen config. Okay. So let's see if I do have clipper screen configured in here in the 2.4. I don't see a clipper screen config in here, so I'm obviously missing something. Okay, because in my machine in here, if I go to the printer config and down to displays, there's my displays. I have my, that's all this stuff for displays. And that is the mini, that's the little display that we're using, the mini 12684 display. So I need to do something to get this display working. Power to the display. Wouldn't the display just be powered from, wouldn't the display just be powered from the ribbon cable? Or does the display need its own power source? We have a direction, we have a reset button, and we have a backlight button. I don't see anywhere on here where I would necessarily plug a power source in. This is the Big Tree Tech Pi TFT7 version 2. And I do not see anywhere where I'd plug power other than maybe this one white plug up here, which is 5 pins. I don't believe that's going to be a power for it. I think the power is going to come through the ribbon cable like it does for this smaller display that I have on here. It depends. You relate to the party. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, so I guess what I need to do first thing is let's just make sure on the board that I'm plugged in the right way on the Pi. Now, I don't know if I want to hot swap this display. I guess I could. It's not going to hurt it. Let's just see. Am I plugged in the right way on the Pi for the display? I'm pretty sure that has, those pins have to be up. Yeah, I think I just need to set something in the Pi telling it where it's getting a display. So I believe that's all I need to do. But that part is where I'm kind of where I kind of lack a little bit of knowledge. You guys are saying a little bit of knowledge. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. And you're right. You were so right. So let me look up. Let me do a little bit of looking up here. If connected to the Pi, then not defined in the printer config, right? Probably, you're probably right. I shouldn't have it defined. Right now, I have displays defined in the printer config, but it probably doesn't need to be. So right now, in my 2.4, this is what is defined under the display. This is the little mini display that's at the front of the 2.4 right now. So maybe what I need to do is comment all that out so it's not looking for that display. But then I definitely need to put something in there to tell it which display it's using. Did you install your Clipper screen? I didn't see it set up update screen. I thought I did install Clipper screen on here, but I could go in and install it again just to be sure. Let's go check and see if I've got Clipper screen installed. So we are at 239 configure 239 IP address. So if I go ahead and go to, let's go to PuTTY. Let's log in and see. Host name is 10.0.0.239. Should be able to see the Pi boot without Clipper screen if the screen is plugged in correctly. Hey Teza, hey Voron noob. Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, let's see if we'll see if I got Clipper screen first and foremost, which I don't. Now, those of you in the know, does the ribbon cable power the display, or is the display going to need a separate power source? It shouldn't, right? Because I don't see anywhere on the display where it would have a power source come into it. So I'm just going to switch this around. I'm pretty sure I'm okay with this, but we'll switch it around and just see if it makes a difference. Because, you know, having a cable in backwards can also be a hindrance to it. So we're going to make sure that that contrast button's sort of in the middle. We'll hit the reset. But it doesn't seem to have any power. The display doesn't seem to have any power of any sort getting to it. Or either that or, you know, it's a 15-pin ribbon cable is what we're using. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. You use the ribbon cable only? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. And that's the same on the display that I have on the Trident. It's just the ribbon cable only. And it looks like the ribbon cable is plugged in correctly. They're plugged into both sides. So we have the black clip on the bottom side. So basically yeah, so they are plugged in correctly. I confirm that. Okay. Ribbon cable has the power. Okay, good. Okay, so let's look here. I just have to, let me just really quick, I'm going to find, I just don't want to pop anything up that shouldn't be shown, but I'm going to find where I'm going to get in there. An update pack. No, I don't want to install the update right now. Thank you very much. Okay, let's copy that. No, let's copy that. There we go. And paste that in there. Yes. Okay. And then let's get in here. So according to this, I'm in Kahlua. Clipper screen is installed right there. So Clipper screen is showing as installed. Hey, Brent Ferguson. Hello, hello. So, so Clipper screen's installed. I don't know if I have to do anything else. So what I'll do then, let's end that session, sure. Let's minimize this. Let's minimize this. Let's go in, try a sudo reboot command to restart the Pi. Oh, okay, sudo reboot. Is that what you do? I can restart the Pi through here, but yeah, let's do it the other way. Do-do-do. Okay, so rebooting the Pi. Let's see what happens. See if anything changes here. Nothing coming on the screen so far. contrast is set fine, and this one is just the direction, whether it's up or down. I'm hoping the display is okay. I don't see any lights coming on the display at all. Not that there should be, but I would think there would be a power LED on this somewhere. And the display that's on here is working fine. Now, I wonder if one display... No, see, this display is hooked up to the main board, and the display I'm trying to get going right now is hooked up to the Pi. So the little display on the front of the printer right now is hooked up through the main board, not through the Pi. So let's go ahead and under the printer config, let's disable the display settings in the printer config. And but that wouldn't do anything, would it? Can you show your connection? Yeah, you mean show where I connected on the board? Sure. Let me grab this little camera here. I'll show you where I've connected it. Because obviously I'm doing something wrong. Okay, this little camera here. Here we go. Look at this mystery. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So, oh, this is really dark. Here, let me lighten this up. Hang on a minute here. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I want to do. Go away. So right now, you can kind of see this right now. There's where the display is going in right here. I haven't twisted the cable, no. So I've got the display going into the display port on the Pi right here. Okay, 15 pin. I've got the pins up. The blue side is down, and that's locked into this 15 port display port here. Okay, and on the back of the display, I have, whoops, sorry about that. I have the cable plugged in to the back of the display right there where it said display. Re8 ribbon cables, that's hooked up to the display, which I'm pretty sure is the right place to be putting that on the display. So, yes, that looks wrong. What looks wrong? You think the blue should be down? Because if I, oops, let me switch over here because I don't want to, there we go. I don't want to make you guys dizzy with this camera moving around like that. Although it is handy to be able to move that camera around pretty much like that. Turn the cable over on the display. I can try that. Ooh, somebody gets a, somebody wins a prize right now. You know why? Because when I turn the cable over, look what I got. A power light. I got a power light. And on the front, I do see the screen's on. It's not doing anything, but the screen is on. Okay. We have power to the screen. Nothing on the display, but we have power to the display. But somehow I think I have to restart the Pi. Oh, there we go. So let's go ahead and it was a twisted cable. Well, twisted, yes. Yeah. Let's reboot the Pi. Let's go ahead. Let's shut this down. I'm just going to do a hard reboot. We'll shut down on Clipper and we'll do a reboot on here. Doop. And we'll power off and we will power back on. Okay, the display kind of did a little bright light up thing here. Oh, we got a little rainbow going. Oh, look at this. You guys see that? Here. Can you see? I don't know if you can see anything here. Oh, you know what would help? I've got plastic on the thing still. I think it's working. If I go system cancel, system reset, cancel, menu. Ah, we have it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yay. Look, Clipper screen. You're right. Awesome. It's alive. Okay, cool. I don't want to pull the plastic. I guess I could pull the plastic off. What the heck? Let's pull the plastic off just like that. Now you can see it even better. Okay. So, yay. Well, that wasn't so bad. Okay. Yeah. I like when things go well. So, whoever said twisted cable, you're right. Should have done that to begin with. I know. Don't shoot the messenger. But now, here's the question. So theoretically, I have two screens going on this thing right now. So I have the one that's hooked up to the Pi, and I have the one that's hooked up to the main board, which is the little one. But they both all should work. Look at that. Oh man, that is so cool. And the contrast on the screen. Oh, I can make it really bright. And what's this switch do? I can turn it upside down with a flick of a switch. Oh, man, I like that. That's fun. Okay. Question now, all you guys. Thank you for your help, by the way. Thank you so much. Is that a capacitance touch or resistive touch? What? Blue always faces the back sliding latch. Okay, I'll have to remember that because I always get mixed up with which way the blue goes. Is this a capacitance touch or a resistive touch? What's the difference? How do I know? How do I know? Capacitive. Do you have to press hard or just tap the screen? Oh, okay. Let's. Oh no, you just tap the screen. Very, 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 very light tap. If I go more, yeah, very, very light tap. Does that mean it's capacitive? Or does that mean that it is resistive? It's got to mean capacitive, right? Because resistive, theoretically, resistive would mean that it's got resistance that you have to actually push. Whereas capacitive would be, it's just like, yeah, capacitive. Okay, good. Now the next question. Is there a STL out there available somewhere for the 7-inch display on a 300 millimeter Trident? See, I don't know a lot of stuff, but I use common sense, and I look at the word resistive, and the word resistive in itself means resist, to resist. So there's resistance, meaning with resistance you need more pressure. So let's have a quick peek, and then we'll get into the spreadsheet. It takes longer to activate because it's physical. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Capacitive reacts faster as resistive takes longer to activate because it gets physical. Okay, let's so we can boot that up again. So we have the screen in there. We're all good there. Let's go over and let's look at just for now, and then we'll get to the spreadsheet. We'll get to the fun part. I mean, the boring part depends. If you like spreadsheets, you'll love this. But if you're not a fan of spreadsheets, you're going to fall asleep. Let's go to printables, and let's find. Hello, I'm okay with that. Let's just log me in so I get credit if I download something. There we go. Okay, so let's look up. I would call this a BTT 7-inch case for Voron. I don't know. I never get my search terms right. No, 7-inch. No, it's not even called that. I don't know what to search for. Oh, that A10. Resistive panels are all but dead. Yes. My Canon color laser print still has a resistive panel. It's royal pain in the yeah. BTT TFT7. No items match my search. Okay. The actual name of this thing is Pi TFT 70. Pi TFT 70. Let's see what we got. Oh, here we go. So, display mount for Pi TFT 70. Now, is that for a Voron? That's just for any standard rail. So now what I'll do is I will modify my search. BTT 70 Voron. There we go. Top Voron BTT Pi TFT 70 Voron mount. That might be what I want to do. Put it on the top because it is a pretty big display. That's probably something. All I need something simple like that. So let's see. So there's one option. There's the TFT 50. Okay, there's the 50 for the bottom. Okay, which makes sense because there's room on the bottom, but the 70 is a fair bit bigger. So and then that's a 50, that's a 50, that's a 50, that's a 50, and that's a 50. So all the ones, oh, and that's a 50 for the top too. None of these are showing the 70. Does nobody have the big 7-inch screen? I may have to design my own. Okay, well, if I just do 70, there is a 7-inch one here. It's a case for it. I may just have to mount. Oh, there's one. That looks like it's on a Voron. Oh, there's one right there. Look at that. That one's not bad. And it mounts just under the doors. I just don't like how the doors kind of cover it. Okay, but that's one possibility here. And top mount for a 50, 50, 50, 70. But that's really just a stand apart. Modify one of those. Yeah, I don't mind that one. I could get away with that one for now. Because once this is built, it's just going to stay in the spot. Yeah, everything else in here looks like they're 50s. 50, 50, 50. And, you know, I don't mind. I could model my own, but, you know, why reinvent the wheel? Let's look at this one. Let's go ahead and see what actually see what the files look like. So you have the side there. That's what it looks like from the side. That's not bad. That I could live with. That's not bad at all. Fitty, fitty, fitty. There's a lot of fitty ones in there. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's download these files. Right bracket, left bracket, screen enclosure. Let's just go ahead and download these files. We'll print these. And we'll print these. There we go. Okay. So Fitty. All the Fitty ones. His username. Whose username? Oh, Fizzy. Fizzy. Okay. There we go. Okay. We got that done. We got those downloading. I don't think I have the right color filament to print them right now, but let's see. My 2.4 is here. Let me switch over here. You can just see the back of the 2.4 here. You can't see much, but I'll stand this up eventually. I gotta rewire and put the shorter cable on here and everything. But it is yellow. It is gold. It is actually gold ABS and black. It was the Workday Gold ABS, which I don't have any in. Doesn't mean I have to make it in gold. What colors would complement gold and black? Let's see what I've got. Gold and black. So it doesn't even have to be ABS. It can be PLA because it's not going to be affected by heat. So for gold, of all this, I have no gold. Can you believe that? I've got a lot of the good Polymaker colors. I got silk gold purple. but I don't think that would work. So I think it might just end up being done in black, which is fine. I think a black case would be just fine on it. So silver would work too. Tech Dad, Tech Dad 47. Hello. I didn't say hi to you when you came on first. Probably a few people I didn't say hi to. So yeah, silver might look good too. Black would look good. I could be crazy and do it in like pink, which would be just silly. No, I wouldn't do that. So I'm just going to stick with black. Let's see what I've got loaded here on the Bamboo. What is this? Is this PLA? That's PLA. Oh, that's not black. That's silver. That looks black through the case. Yeah, I just want to get this print going. Then we'll get into the spreadsheet. Polyterra, cotton white, steel gray. That's what I've got. Steel gray might look pretty good on that for the screen holder. Let's just do that. Let's just go ahead and print it in that. Okay. Black would make a good contrast to the gray and red. It's gray and red. What are you looking at, Teza? Oh, you're looking at this. This is orange and gray. This is the Trident. This this one here is there's another case for that screen that goes on the Voron, Jim. Here, I'm gonna, let's see, where's my, oh, there we are. Go ahead if you can, Jim. I'll have a look at it. In the meantime, I'm gonna, oh, I hate that. Oh man, I cannot. There we go. There we go. If you know the link there, Jim, if you know the link, put the link there if you found a link for it. TFT7 V2. Yeah, this is a V2. This is the TFT7 V2. I hope I got that's the right case. It should be the same. Search that. Okay, let me do that. Let me do that. Jim just put the link there. Let me just have a look at that. Oh, okay. 7-inch display frame for Voron. Here, I'll show you guys what he just sent me. 7-inch display frame for Voron, 2.4 pictures from mine. Okay, so let's have a look at these and see. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. There's the ribbon cable slot. Nice. See, that one's not bad. Oh, it's got the, okay, for the contrast, the opening for the contrast and that. That's pretty clean looking to me. We have access to that. We have a ribbon cable slot in the back, and we have holes, all 8 holes for screwing it in. Okay, I like that one. Let's download that one too. That one looks a little more simple. Or is that the same one I just did? No, that's this one. Where's the one that we just did? Right here. Let's close this. Let's download. And it is middle display skirt, frame, and mount. Okay. One. Did you download? Yes, download multiple files. I don't know what I'm doing here. There, I just downloaded 12 of each. Oh boy. Okay, I'm not fussy. I just want to print one. Anyways, we'll get that print going after. Let's move on to the next part right now. You guys don't need, that print's going to take longer than the stream's going to go for anyways. Oh, I forgot I have these cool swatches from Bamboo. I could always just hold these up to the printer. These things here, I could always hold these up to the printer and then see which color would look really good with the colors I have there, right? I could do that. I mean, that way you can get a good look at what might look good. I just love having swatches in a visual, even the red. Oh man, red would stand out nicely with the gold and the black as the display holder. I may just do something wild and different. So I may just do something wild and different. Thanks for that link, Jim. So what I'll end up doing probably is printing both holders and see which one I like the best. But I do like the one because it had the ribbon cable slot in the back, and it also had the slots at the top for accessing the. Not that I would ever flip the display upside down, but it has access to that button. So yeah. Anyways, okay. So let's talk about the spreadsheet that I've designed, which is what I want to do. I'm going to be doing a video on this spreadsheet, but I wanted to give you guys sort of a first-hand look. You guys are my regulars on here, and it'd be great to get some opinions and feedback on what I've been doing here. I've been working on this for a while. I've tweaked it on and off. One thing to keep in mind, this spreadsheet I'm going to show you right now, I have it set up strictly for PLA. And because 80%, 90% of the, actually probably 95% of the work that I get requests for from customers is in PLA. It can be done PLA. I have one customer that does a fair bit of TPU, but I'm going to work on that. And but as I say, 95% of the requests I get are PLA. So let me go ahead and open this spreadsheet and we'll share it, and I'll show you what I've done here. It looks complicated, but it's really not. Time to hit the pillow. See you next time. Okay, Jose Ferreira, that's great. You can check back later if you're interested in this spreadsheet. Of course, it's going to be there, and I'm going to use portions of this live stream to make my video about the spreadsheet as well. So you have a good night, and I appreciate you being here every week, Jose. Thank you so much. Okay, one thing to keep in mind on this, it looks fairly complicated. It's not. It can be, I can customize it to anything. There's some stuff on here that people might not want to see, that they don't care to see on a pricing spreadsheet. Some stuff people might want to see more. And that's why I'd like to get some opinions. I'm going to walk through it. I'll keep an eye on chat as I'm walking through it, and but just let me sort of walk through and show you guys how it works so far. And perfect, Jose, thank you. And if you guys have any opinions, I'm open to opinions. There's no bad opinions. I won't be offended, but you guys can let me know. So here's the sheet right here. Hopefully you can see it on your screen. It might be difficult on a mobile, but. So I've been working on this. This is what I've got so far. And let me show you, as I say, it looks busy, but it's not. It allows for up to 10 different items on one page, because you could have a specific project or job with multiple parts to it, okay? Keep in mind, this right now is strictly PLA, but I am working on making a selector that you can select PLA, ABS, whatever you want. And this spreadsheet is totally customizable to you, the user. I just lost my chat window, so I'm just going to pop that up again. There we go. Hey, 3D Medic Vince, you're just in time for my spreadsheet show. So the idea behind this is that, so first thing you would do, and none of these cells are locked yet. So I may make a mistake and override a locked cell. No big deal, I can undo it. But when this spreadsheet's finished, all the cells that are meant to be inputted will be unlocked, and anything that's meant to be calculated, of course, will be locked, so users can't override it. So first thing you're going to do is put in your customer name. So that's going to be me, Tim the DeWitt. The job can be, fidget pieces. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so today's date is automatically populated. As soon as you open the spreadsheet, the date is automatically going to be for today. So today is the 14th of April. It's going to be there automatically. You can override it if you want, but generally it's the day you're going to work on the quote. So due date, you can do whatever you want here. It can be 22 June 2024. Okay. In my case, prices do not include GST. Okay, we have a goods and services tax here. Looks similar to the one that you built. Does it, Jim? Cool. So part name. So we can just call this part number, 5, whatever it is, .stl. I usually put, if the customer provides the file, I put it there. If I create the file, I put the name of the file there. Quantity, for now, we'll just stick it at 1. Now here's where we can select. This is where you can select whatever printers you have. This happens to be all the printers that I have in my arsenal. So we'll say, okay, we're going to print this on the Bamboo P1P. And again, the filaments that I have in my arsenal, okay, I'll show you where I've added those. So I can say I want to print this on Polymaker. And again, this is PLA. Filament colors, I've listed most of the basic filament colors that I carry and that I run. If it's other or if it's a multicolor piece, we're going to put notes down under the parts notes. So for instance, if this is going to be in a hot fuchsia, I can put other, and under the notes for part number 1, I'm just going to put filament hot fuchsia. I don't know how you spell fuchsia, F-U-S-C-H-I-A, whatever. So, okay. This is the price per gram I charge, and I'll show you where that number comes from. Okay. In this case, it's 19.1 cents per gram. This is how much I charge per minute of printer time, 0.75, 7.5 cents per minute. Again, these are all customizable. So what you need is you need to have your file. I tell customers, in order to give you an accurate price, I need to have your file. I need to slice it in order to see how much filament it's going to be estimated to use and how much time. So in this case, let's just suppose it's going to use 150 grams of filament. And then, boom, it tells you the filament price right there based on the filament price per gram. 28.70. Estimated minutes. Again, I'm just pulling numbers out of the air here for now. Let's suppose this is going to take 33 minutes. Okay. There's my estimated time based on that. Okay. So it's going to charge 28.70 in filament, 248 in time for a total job price of 31.18. If I had 5 pieces instead here, okay, it's going to adjust the price accordingly. There's my total job price, and there's my price per piece. Okay. For whatever I'm doing here. If I add a second part to this, to the same job, part 2.stl, and we also want 5 of them. And again, if you're running the same job on the same printer, but say I want to gang this up on a couple different printers, is I will say, okay, I'll run this one on the P1S. I'm going to run this one with bamboo filament, just because. And this one, this is a complementary part, so we're going to run this in red. And it's going to be 75 grams of filament, and it's going to take, for one piece, this is the estimated time. No, hang on, sorry. This is the estimated total time. Okay, that's another thing that I have to fix here. These are based on one piece. Now, the total time, the estimated time, you have to basically say, okay, if I'm slicing it, it's going to be 5 pieces, and that has to basically increase your time per minute. This is something I'm working on here. Possibly to make this happen automatically, but I'm not sure. So that's going to be more like 150 minutes. So, okay, so we have 75 grams of filament because these are small pieces. These pieces are going to take 63 minutes. Boom. It's going to keep a running total down here of your job price, your time, your estimated minutes, your estimated filament, cost for your filament, cost for your time, and total cost. And then your price per piece is going to show up over here. You can go on further if you want to keep this information. What I do is I do a spreadsheet for a specific client or a specific job request or quote request. Then I'll save that spreadsheet either as a spreadsheet or a PDF and file it so I have it for future reference. So I can, if I want to put more info, I can do it over here. Some people will do this and save the file in the slicer to recall it later. So they want 15% infill. The infill pattern that we're going to do is going to be gyroid. Okay. Number of perimeters, we're going to run 4 perimeters, and then we're going to run, I don't know, 4 top and 4 bottom layers. Okay. Is there supports? Now this is interesting. So if I print supports, I charge to remove supports because that can be kind of tedious sometimes too. We all know that. Now this happens to be, I just threw this number in here. So if I go ahead, you'll see that my total price on this one is $199.77. Okay. If this piece happens to have supports and I say yes, that price just popped up to $224.77. Okay. And the reason is I charge $5 a piece per piece to remove supports. Now, the other thing I do here is I keep different kinds of support material. So I have a black and white support material, PLA support, that makes supports come off easy. Oh, sorry, somebody just came home. So if I choose print filament, which is the filament I'm printing with for the supports, nothing changes. Okay. You're going to want to look at this number price per gram. If I'm using a support filament, say black, my price per gram goes up based on that support filament I'm using, and hence the price of my job is going to go up. Okay, so those are the variables I have so far. And then again, down on this one, we can do the same thing. They want 15%. They want a grid infill for this. This one we're going to use four perimeters, 4 top layers, and these don't change the price. These are just for information, and 3 bottom layers. There's no supports on this, so we're not going to worry about the support filament. So this basically gives me my entire price for the job. I can put notes for each piece, each section. So each part, if I have notes specific to that part, I can put it there. And then I have a little section over here, which is just for general notes and information. Okay, so what's driving this sheet, and again, I told you I'd bore some of you guys. I haven't even looked. I probably lost a bunch of viewers. Anyways, what's driving this is we have a data page here. So this is where you customize it to you. Here's the filament brands that I put in. Okay, my main filaments are Polymaker Bamboo. I have some Prusament, I have some Arion, and I have some Sunlu. I don't buy it, but once that's out, it's done. Okay, so those are the main brands of filament that I'm using right now. And keep in mind, this is PLA. Okay. These are the printers that I have at my disposal right now. So I list all of my different printers here. Perimeters, I've got up to 10. If you're doing more than 10 perimeters, well, then you can go ahead and add as many perimeters as you want to be selected. Okay, infill, same thing. I've just done infill at 5% steps. Because generally, if I'm using 5% infill, if somebody says, "Oh, I want 9% infill," well, then we'll go 10%. Or if you can do whatever you want here. I just did 5% increments. Okay. Infill pattern. There's all the infill patterns I have available in the slicer that I use. You're still there, but not paying attention. That's okay, Nuno. Is there supports? It's no or yes. Okay. If there's supports, if it's yes, okay, so there's a formula that says if it's yes, you're going to charge X amount, and I'll show you where that number comes from. Support filaments, either black or white, because those are the 2 color PLA support filaments I carry that are made for removable supports. Print filament is the filament you're printing with, or other. If you have dissolvable supports, anything else you're using for supports, using PETG, whatever. These are my layers. I generally don't go more than 10 layers. If that, generally I'm at 5 layers, maybe 6 sometimes, depending as far as top and bottom layers go. And there's my filament colors. You can list as many colors as you want on there. I just don't want to do that. So that's kind of my data, where all the data comes from. So now under the filament costs, this is interesting here. And this is down here is where I'm working on making it a multi-filament sheet. So what I've done here to get my costs is I've taken all the different filaments that I purchase or that I have, how much it costs per roll, how heavy those rolls are. Okay, they're all 1 kilogram, but you can get some are 0.8 kilograms, some are half a kilogram. Cost per gram, okay, based on the kilogram, based on the cost per kilogram. Cost per gram, how much I mark up my filament, never less than 500%. Based on that markup, that is the sell price per gram of filament. Now, I don't want to say, okay, I'm charging X amount for Polylite, I'm charging X amount for Bamboo PLA, I'm charging X amount for Prusament PLA. So all I've done is I've done an average price of all the filaments that I carry, and that average price is what I charge. Because there's a 500% markup on the filament, I'm not worried about losing money if I run that average price and I'm running a more expensive filament like Prusament, which is the most expensive filament I have, at 28.5 cents a gram sell price. I'm only going to sell it for 19 cents, but I'll make up that when I'm selling a filament where it's only 20 cents a gram or 15 cents a gram. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense. This I've just put in my ABS, ASA costs, because these filaments vary in price significantly depending on what you're doing, but I haven't programmed the spreadsheet for these yet. My last tab here is the rates. That's my print rate per hour. So I charge $4.50 per hour. You can put whatever rate you want to charge for your printer time in there. That $4.50 per hour on the main pricing spreadsheet calculates to a per minute price, okay? Because we basically print our models based on minutes, not by hours, right? So support removal flat rate, again, $5, I say per piece, flat rate per piece for support removal. If I'm quoting a job and it's going to be a really difficult job for support removal, I'll come in here before I do the quote and I'll say, okay, it's going to be $10 per piece flat rate for removal. That's a variable number you can do. And then the support filament per gram. Even though I don't print, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, and I may end up putting a separate column here for support filament pricing. Okay, but all I do right now is this is the rate to add per gram of filament to allow for support filament usage. That's why it's only 1.5 cents per gram for support filament usage, is because that is deriving the number based on the estimated 150 grams. So it's going to add 1.5 cents per gram if I'm using a specific PLA support filament for that. So if I go ahead and say I'm not using filament that, and I'm not using support on that, it's going to lower the price accordingly. So Hogan, what are you guys talking about? Hogan's Heroes. Anyways, I know I've lost some of you guys, but that's what I've got set up so far. And let's see how many we've lost. Where's my YouTube window here? I just want to see how many people are still watching, paying attention. No, we still got 22 people paying attention to a little bit, or not paying attention, but at least watching. So that's kind of what I've come up with. But my goal is to get rid of the PLA and just have this be a 3D printing price calculator. And so filament brand isn't necessarily something that I have to, other than for future use when I want to rerun a job, I may be having an issue. That's why I have filament brand in here, because whether it's, if it's PLA, these are all just PLAs. I'm probably going to add another column in here, which is going to be filament type. And depending on the type you choose, whether it be ABS, ASA, Galaxy ABS, Galaxy ASA, yada, 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 it will affect the price accordingly. And that way I'm not stuck, because some people will order a job where they say, okay, I want PLA for this part, I want ABS for this part, and I want PETG for this part. So that's kind of my goal for that. But this spreadsheet right here has helped me to price a lot of jobs so far. Again, I've this part over here most of this can be hidden if you want. If you don't care about your infill pattern, your perimeters, and your bottom layers, go ahead and you'd be able to hide those portions of the spreadsheet, and then all you're dealing with is supports and support filament, which are affecting your price. If you do all your infill and everything in your slicer and you save that model for future running, that's good. I just like to know what I've done on a particular on a particular model when I'm finished printing it, and I keep these in a folder, because these are spreadsheets. They take up zero room, and I can always refer back to them. They're all filed based on my customer's name. So anyways, that's where we have that. So yeah, so these are, a lot of these numbers are all calculated. We have, we're pointing to our different rate spreadsheets there. Oops, let's not screw that up too much. So yeah, everything here is basically formula driven, based on all the data that you put in as a user on the spreadsheet, and everybody's data is going to be different depending on where you are and what you're doing. Who is a famous red-headed clown? I do not know. You guys are having a conversation all on your own, which is fine. I told you this spreadsheet stuff was going to be boring, but some people may be interested in it. So if you sell 3D printing, then yeah, the problem I find with, let me just get rid of that. The problem I find mainly with people that are, why is this camera frozen? See, look at this. You guys make my cameras freeze. Hello. Did my whole stream just freeze? Did I bore my cameras to death? What is going on? Is this camera's working? Why is this camera not working? It's fallen asleep. Did I lose power? There's no power on this camera. How about this one? This one's working. Weird. That's weird. Okay. That was sort of my spreadsheet presentation. Yeah, everybody I could tell was thrilled about that. So anyways, I'll show you a couple examples of some stuff I've done and what I charge. And I'll give you an idea of that you can make money. The problem with a lot of the 3D printing stuff, hang on, this is bothering me because this camera, I wanted to use this camera and it seems to be frozen. There's the power. There's the power, and there it is. And now it doesn't seem to want to come on here. Deactivate. Activate. There we are. We have it. Good, good. Good. Okay. So here's a couple examples. So again, let's lighten that camera up a little bit. So this is actually a friend of mine in a scuba company. Now, anybody that scuba dives might know what this is, might not, whatever. We have a one-way valve inside there. We have an opening here, and then in the end, we have, again, a one-way valve. So air can only flow through this one way. So I can get a new camera. Good one, Brent. No, the camera's working fine now. So anyways, the trick with this, so the idea behind this valve, anybody who's into scuba diving, whatever, the idea behind this is you have an airflow through here. This hooks up to another instrument on this end, which tells you the oxygen content, the O2 content of the air in your tank. Okay. What this thing was sort of being set up for was that the air is going in here, but they have no adapter. They had nothing in here to control the airflow. So I basically went into Fusion 360 and designed these things. These are just different colors because they show on the camera better. Design these things which slip over the end and form an airtight seal for the most part. You can glue them on if you want. You can push it on even harder, and it'll be difficult to come off. But then they take the hose from their BCD, which comes from their tank to their BCD. They unclip it from the BCD, temporarily put the hose over here. It creates a nice, constant, steady, and slow airflow through here, which allows them to read the oxygen content of their air based on this. So that will come off again. I did a black one here as well. It's just meant to be pressure fit. It's not meant to stay on, but as I say, they can glue it on if they want. We're looking at actually reprinting this whole piece with this nibbled end on it as well. So, but that was all modeled up in Fusion 360, parametric modeling, so I can change the size. They do have another type, which was a little bigger. And so this is the larger version of it, which goes more so on an end like this. This isn't the proper one for it. But anyways, so these pieces were all modeled and 3D printed and priced based on that spreadsheet. Okay, so and based on, whoops, there we go. I don't like when what's going on here? This camera angles get me all weirded out. Anyways, based on the spreadsheet, these things, now you guys all know how much it costs to, so was I, I'm 71. Oh, good. Anyways, so these things, as you guys know, filament wise, if you can see inside it, it's hollow. Okay, and it's just enough to allow a nice stream of air to go through. So this costs about, I think the filament cost on this was about 22 cents per piece. Okay, so about 22 cents per piece. But based on my spreadsheet, now people would have difficulty sometimes deciding how much should I charge for this, and the average person may go on and say, well, 22 cents. It takes me 15 minutes to run this piece on my fast printer. I'm only going to charge you $5 for it. or $2 or $3 for it, whatever. My client happily paid $7 a piece for these. Okay, he sells these for $9.99. So and I did multiple up. Mind you, the order was only for initially for about 40 of them. Okay, but it just shows that you're not only selling plastic and you're not only selling time, you're selling your knowledge and education. Okay, the design part was a whole different fee. I'm not going to get into that because I charge more for design than other people would. I charge less for the design than other people would. So that's one example. Okay, where you can make decent money, but don't ever undersell yourself. Don't think you're just selling plastic and printer time and your electricity and all that. You're selling your knowledge. Okay, you're selling your knowledge. Then this is another customer. I can tell you now. These were done. The customer that I did these for is Amazon Canada. Okay, so they had a need. Now this I didn't design. I was going to, but they said no. We'll do the design, and they did. So their employees carry around these little things right here. Now some people might know what this is. Some people might not. But that's called a YubiKey. Okay, that little guy there is a USB-C security key that you plug into your computer, you plug into your workstation, and it basically it overrides or it eliminates the need for multi-factor authentication. So it's a security key. So can you imagine though an employee carrying that little security key around with the risk of losing it? And every time they log in and out of their stations, they have to take this key in and out. So what they came up with was what's called a YubiKey holder, which is just this little guy here. Okay, it's about 12 cents in filament. I think it was about 12 cents or so in filament. And this little key here basically plugs into the end. It's friction fit. And it stays in the end. And then what they do is they hook this little part on a lanyard and hang it around their neck. And so whenever they need their key for their computer, they basically just pop that out, use it, and when they're done, they pop it back in. You want to say your special thing? I have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. I have to stop because this is a VIP. It's very rare that he shows up anymore, but here we go. Ready? Right there and right into this camera.
Hit that like button and subscribe. Bye.
Thank you very much, Ethan. Yay! Everybody say hello to Ethan. Okay. Make sure to like. Ethan said, make sure to like. I worked really hard on this. So anyway, so these pieces here. So I ended up, so far I've run about 5,000 of these things. Okay. These were run, I think I ran them 55 up per sheet on the bamboos. Okay. And I had to match a price for this one. So these were sold for around 30 cents a piece. Okay, so and there's potential I'm going to be doing probably thousands more. The ones that I ran were strictly for the Western Canada ones, Western Canada Amazon locations, and they are pushing to get me to do the Eastern Canada locations as well, which would be a lot more than I did. Now, I get the question and people are saying, well, why wouldn't they just get them injection molded? There's a few reasons why they wouldn't get them injection molded. I don't want to go into it, but my train of thought and my answer is if they wanted them injection molded, they would have got them injection molded. These guys are Amazon. They know what they're doing. I still think the cost of an injection mold for anything like this, if they can make an accurate injection mold for something like this, which I'm sure they can, but the cost to get the mold itself done is probably prohibitive as far as running thousands of these things on an FDM printer. So should make that with a maple leaf shape. That would be cool too, wouldn't it? They ended up providing this file, so I had to go with what they gave me. So, and these things printed quite fast. As I say, you're running them 55 per sheet and you're changing sheets every 2 hours. You can get a lot of these done in a day running them on 2 or 3 different printers. So, and then the other one I was going to show, I have a few other jobs, but some of them were big and some of them were proprietary parts I'm not able to show on camera. This is just a little one that came in from a home building company. I don't know what they're being used for. Initially, I mean, you can see how small this is. It's very tiny. Initially, they wanted lettering put in there, 2 layers of lettering so that when light shone through it, you could see the letters. And I printed their sample with the lettering. And as we all know, when you're dealing with melting plastic, especially this size, the letters turned out crappy because you can only get letter print so small. I suppose I could have gone with a 0.2 nozzle or even smaller nozzle to get the lettering more accurate, but they wanted these things in a hurry. So what they ended up doing was printing blanks, these things blank, way too expensive for the mold production. Exactly, Jim. Yes. So they wanted these things blank, and they only wanted 50 of them. So basically, I said, okay, we'll do them. And you can see there's a little lip on the edge right there. So it needed some support because that little bit on the outside was not going to print without drooling. So ended up printing them on the bamboo using black bamboo PLA support material. Okay. And these were run, the 50 of them were run 50 up. Actually, I ran 55. I gave them extras, and they were run 50 up on the bed in about, I think it was under an hour that these things took to print. And these sold for $1 a piece, $1 a piece. There was, I believe it worked out to 11 cents in plastic was the cost to run these things. Okay, so just because it only cost me 11 cents each to run them, some people might say, oh, well, you can sell them for a quarter. Well, no. Supply and demand, my education, we have the equipment, we have the knowledge, we know what we're doing, we know how to get the support material on there so the support comes off super easy. $1 a piece was a fair price, and he didn't balk at it. He bought them, and that's it. I mean, so I guess the rule here, or the lesson here is don't undersell yourself. If you're selling 3D printing, don't underprice yourself just because you think it sounds expensive. I've been in the retail business for 30 plus years now with the printing and sign company I'm in. And I've had to educate a lot of people about, they say, well, that sounds expensive. Well, here's why you're paying what you're paying. And anybody out there that's run a business knows that there's more than just what it costs you to do things and how long it takes you to do things. There's way more involved than that. So anyways, that's my little, I'm not going to call it a rant because I'm not ranting, but that's my little talk right now on the spreadsheet that I'm working on for print pricing, and some examples of what I've done for selling prints. And that's one of the reasons I decided to print this really cool bamboo, or to get these really cool bamboo color swatches. And yes, some of these are injection molded, as you've probably read, but that doesn't matter that they're injection molded. This is not a swatch saying this is what it looks like or this is how it feels. These swatches are for this is what the color is going to look like. So because a lot of times customers will say, oh, do you have a Pantone 473? No, I don't. I have these colors. I happen to have these colors. I'm hoping that if they haven't done it already, and I may, because it's a lot of work to do these on your own, especially just for especially for colors you don't own, but I would love to do the same thing or have the same thing for Polymaker filaments. So, oh, thank you so much, Build It Basement. Thanks, Kermit. Yeah. But yeah, it's more so the as Stephen said, people seldom call machine time into cost. People seldom call this into cost. Okay. I've spent the last 4 or 5 years perfecting my knowledge of 3D printing, learning how to make 3D prints look better, building printers to make 3D prints look good. People need to realize that there is value in what's up here. Okay, I get people that send me stuff. They send me a link. Happens almost twice a week. They send me a link to Thingiverse or printables, and they say, "Here, I want this piece printed." I say, okay, I don't quote anything, even this. I don't quote anything under $20 because it's my time. I've got to change the filament. I got to set up the printer. I've got to slice the file, yada, yada, yada. That's the other thing, knowledge of slicers, okay? And I say, okay, it's going to cost you, they want, I don't know, one of something like this, okay, it's $20. Oh, well, that's expensive. It's just a tiny piece. It's not going to take you long, and it's only going to take you X amount of filament. my answer is, okay, good. Well, go on out and buy yourself a 3D printer, and you should be able to print that yourself then. Okay, good luck with that. It's like when people say, you know, well, how come your business cards are so expensive? Well, number one, they're not. Number two, go out and buy the equipment and do them yourself then, or go find somebody that'll do it cheaper and see what you get. So, yeah, well, exactly, Teza. Making things that small are hard. I mean, this thing, I tried and tried to get his text to work out on it, but I just couldn't. With the setup I have, I could have tried a smaller nozzle, but you know, I thought no. So he's going to engrave. He said he can engrave or whatever on them. So he did it himself. So I have some screenshots of your spreadsheet. Okay, cool. I'll have to have a look, Jim. I will definitely have a look. But these are great. If you guys haven't done these, or if you're selling prints or whatever, these swatches are cool. They just send you a box with 80 swatches printed in them, and then they have the little cutouts, and then you go to their site and you can print these little swatch holders, and they have the little buttons there to hold them in. And if you want to take one of the swatches out, you just push through the back and it just pops off the button, and there's a little swatch. So, and then you pop it back on, and on the front of the swatch, it doesn't necessarily say the color. It doesn't say the color, but it does have the name of the filament. So PLA Toughen 12163 or G3. What's it say on the camera there? Anyways, you just basically go to their site, type in that number, and it brings you to the exact filament that you're looking at. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a swatch strictly of the colors that I carry. That's why I got two of them. So one of them is for all their colors, and the other one is going to be just the colors I carry. So, but then the other one's going to be, here's the colors I can get. So, yeah. So that only took me till 6:30 to go over that spreadsheet. And I didn't see that there were any questions about the spreadsheet, which I didn't expect, because not everybody that's watching, not everybody's into wanting to price out 3D printing and sell stuff. But it's more so just to let you know that when you're doing this, or when you're giving something or telling a friend, yeah, I'll do this for you for X amount of money, don't shortchange yourself. You need to charge for your knowledge. That's the thing that people mostly don't charge for is knowledge. You had a question above ballistic tech. Let me have a look. You don't directly calculate a power cost. It's that built into your time calc. That's a difficult one to calculate, ballistic, as well. Okay, number one, at home, if I'm doing it at home, it's different. I designed this spreadsheet. You're exactly, Kermit. It applies to any small business. But to answer ballistic's question, yes and no. I've allowed for some of that in machine time, but at my office downtown, where I sell most of the 3D printing through the other company, we pay a flat rate where we are. In this office space where I have the 3D printing equipment, it's in the basement of a downtown office tower. And we pay storage rates for that basement space. We don't pay an additional rate regardless of how much power we use. So I don't actually get a power bill. I pay the exact same amount of rent every month based on what we've negotiated for our rent. Our upstairs space where we have our main copy machines and everything, we pay what's called an operating cost, which is calculated every year based on the building's overall consumption of electricity and power. So theoretically, we're paying for it a little bit, but the space that we're renting, where all this equipment's running, is considered storage space. So we don't get a separate power bill. So you do that in your sheet, you allow for power. Yeah, but you also need to know, because that can open a whole can of worms. So let's say my rat rig, for instance, with a 500 millimeter bed, is going to consume, in order to keep that bed, because it's not the like the new Prusa thing where it only heats up a certain portion of the bed. I could be printing something this big, not that I would, but I could be printing something this big in the middle of the rat rig bed. It's heating up the entire 500 millimeter bed, so it's going to consume more power than if I run that same job on the Trident or on the on my Prusa Mini, right? So printing, and that's what can be calculated. Again, you can calculate that, and that's part of the reason that could be a future enhancement on my spreadsheet is when you pick the printer that you're going to run it on, say boom, boom, we'll pick the rat rig. There's going to be a formula that automatically says, okay, that rat rig is using X amount of power per hour. Again, it's a number that's really tough to calculate, because how do you know how much exact energy your printer is using based on how many perimeters you use, based on it's all based on how often your bed's heating up. Can you get away with a cooler bed on it, et cetera, right? So each printer is going to consume different amounts of power, so it's a tough number to come up with. But part of the reason with my time, with my per minute charge, I've sort of in my head said, okay, I'm going to charge. I've added maybe half a penny or three quarters of a penny or a penny in there to allow for some power consumption, because theoretically it's not taking up any of my time. So when you're charging per minute for your printer, basically that's all you're charging for, is the power that it takes to operate that printer, plus any maintenance or any when you have to change a nozzle, yada yada yada. I mean, that's all going to be built into what's called overhead, right? So the overhead is usually a fixed cost, which includes your maintenance. So you have variable costs and fixed costs. Your maintenance, your power, and all that are all basically variable costs. Your fixed cost is just your cost to your printer. So yeah, there's a lot of different things to keep in mind, and you could drive yourself crazy. But hence 500% markup on filament minimum. So we do the 500% markup on filament. Number one, it allows for some waste. It allows for filament changes. It allows for purges. And then again, you got to be reasonable too. You've also got to be able to price within what the market will bear, right? So yeah, I know that's a lot of talk for what I'm saying, but yeah. So and that's you got to look. So I mean, I have a studio here in the basement at home. It's utilizing power. So this does, to run this studio, to run these streams, does cost me money in my energy bill, because I'm running a couple monitors. We're running a couple different printers at any given time. Just streaming itself is utilizing power. So which is why I used to monetize, but I'm no longer going to monetize my live streams until after the fact. And I'm hoping nobody has gotten any ads tonight. You shouldn't have had any ads, because I didn't turn monetization on tonight. So no, it isn't easy, Jim. No. Running any business, if you don't have your overheads, you don't have your variable costs, you don't have your fixed costs, there's so much you have to take into mind with everything. But I mean, especially, it's just that, some people think they have a 3D printer. A neighbor, a friend of a friend says, oh, good, Andrew, glad there's no ads. Says, okay, how much to print this for me? And they're going to go, well, 25 cents. It's only going to cost me 10 cents in filament. It's going to cost you more than that. Keep doing that. You're going to be wondering, how come I'm not making any money on selling these little bits and pieces? So ask any of the guys that are selling 3D prints on Etsy. I think Etsy, yeah, as well. And don't ever shortchange yourself on design. Okay. All I can tell you is that it was over $200 that I got to design this piece. Okay. It was over that much. But you may look and say, well, that's a pretty simple design. It was not as simple as it may seem, but again, don't undersell your price on design time as well. So good. So we still have the screen is still on and working. So I've got another 35 minutes. I'm going to go till 7 o'clock. Anybody have any questions? You're doing Etsy, Andrew? Cool. And keep in mind on Etsy, you've got fees on Etsy too, right? So you have to, hey, James Christie, you have to allow for all your hidden, there's so many costs and hidden costs and not so obvious costs and stuff that you have to keep in mind and, allow for that. Because if I'm running crap load of prints on the Voron Trident here, and I'm selling and I'm making good money on it. And I'm saying, yeah, I'm allowing for my electricity. I'm allowing for my knowledge. I'm allowing for this and this and this and this. And then all of a sudden something happens and I have to buy a new power supply. I have to buy a new bed. I have to buy a new whatever. I haven't allowed for that. I haven't allowed for maintenance. So maintenance is another thing you have to allow for going forward. So you print Voron parts to help get some up and running with their builds. Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. They bottom it out on Etsy. Yeah, Etsy's such a competitive place to buy anything, and I don't know how some of the, other than volume, I don't know how some of them make money on Etsy because they have shipping costs and then they have the Etsy costs. I can see how they make money on selling STLs and selling intellectual property and intellectual meaning artwork and stuff, but selling a physical product on Etsy and making good money on it's got to be tough. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start printing that. Oh, I love that. It does that freaky thing when I switch to that. I'm going to open a slicer. There's that spreadsheet. I'm going to close this. I'm so not used to working in Windows. I don't need to save that right now. I'm just going to open a slicer up here. Let's just use bamboo slicer. I've actually started using the bamboo fork. I forget what it's called again, and it's pretty cool. What's the bamboo slicer fork called? Are Vorons any good for printing anything other than parts for more printers? Of course they are, James. Yes. A Voron is a good printer for printing. I mean, this is a 250 millimeter by 250 millimeter by 300 millimeter print volume. I can print anything on it. This one over here is a 300 by 300 by 300 millimeter volume, and then my rat rig, which is basically a Voron with a different name. Again, you print anything. I print a lot of customer parts on these printers. I have one customer that I need to print 12 by 18 inch frames, so that's got to be done on the rat rig. Matter of fact, I'm going to be using the rat rig to print the bottom plate, I think, for this, for the trident here, for the inverted electronics. So yeah, absolutely. It's just another 3D printer. That's all it is. So Orca Slicer. Thanks, Stephen. That's what it's called. I'm back to using Orca Slicer again because the new Orca Slicer is pretty good. Oh, trying to be funny. You have 8 Vorons. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. But hey, maybe somebody, that's a legitimate question too, though, right? Like, you have 8 Vorons. What do you print on them? Good open source. You know what I love about the Vorons? I love the Vorons taught me so much about, like you guys all know how many times I print test cubes. Yeah. Or no, the latest and greatest is Cali Dragons. I printed so many Cali Dragons on the Vorons, right? The Benchy's a thing of the past. It's the Cali Dragons now. But as you guys all know, I've built and rebuilt these 2 Vorons. I'm going to build and rebuild the 01s over here. And each time I do a build, and I've built and rebuilt the rat rig over there. And each time I do a rebuild, I learn more and I learn more and I learn more and I learn more. I'm comfortable doing the printer configs now to a point. You guys have helped me out, like with this little display thing here. Yes, I would have figured it out eventually, but you guys helped me figure it out much faster. Vorons are like the old Lay's potato chips. You can't have just one. That's so right. That's so true. But the education you get from building one of these guys right here, the education you get is priceless. It's like that MasterCard commercial. You know, for everything else, there's MasterCard, but priceless. It's priceless, the education you get and the knowledge you gain from it. So they look even better after the rebuild. Thank you. Yeah, I love the color on this one. This was the old one that was the rainbow one, but now it's the silver and the orange. It's really nice. So wait till I get the cover on the electronics inside. Hang on. Give you a little view of this guy. And I've got the back finished now. You can kind of see on the back. I don't know why the color is, because it's light. That is the same color orange that's on everything else. It's just the light shining through it weirdly. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the colors on that one, the orange and the silver. And this is fully enclosed now, as I say, except the electronics bay. I have to print that cover for that. And then we even have a little screen in the front there. So I'm really, really happy with that versus the rainbow color I tried to duplicate on there. And there is the hot end and all the fun stuff inside there. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over here. We're just going to use Bamboo Slicer for now. Where's the file I downloaded? I probably downloaded too many. I know I downloaded too many pieces. So we need a display mount times 2. We need 2 of those. Those are accent colors, it says. Display middle skirt. And the third object was a display middle skirt, left bracket, right bracket. I've got 2 different ones in here that I downloaded. 550, 549, 549, 549. Middle skirt. So it's just these. I think I downloaded that twice. Display mount times 2. Display. So all we need is the middle skirt and the display mounts. But there was one more piece that's missing from that. Where's the one more piece that's missing? Let's just double check here. Better yet, let's go like this. This, shift, this. Let's get rid of these. And let's go on and that's the one that I wanted. Is that the one? No, that's the first one. This is the one. So I'm just going to download. So you want one of those, 2 of those. I'm missing the frame. That's what I'm missing. Thank you, Voron noob. I'm missing the frame. I'm just going to run them all in the same color because I really don't care if they're highlighted. And maybe I will later if I get some yellow. I'll run the yellow filament on these ones. The gold, I mean, the gold to match the gold. But right now, I just want to get a frame built for it. So, and then I just downloaded the frame part. So downloads. And there's the frame. Oh, come on. When you drag it over to a bigger screen, it kind of distorts the size of it. And there's the frame right there. Oh, the frame is massive. Okay, so that that's going to have to print on its own, the frame. So why don't I, maybe I will do those in an accent color later. Stop, pick the piece. There we go. Frame, if I automatically orient it, it's going to turn it around. That one should be fine. And then we'll just sort of do that. Okay, give it a little bit of separation. Okay. Have you seen the new stealth skirts for the Trident? No, I haven't, Brent. Can you put a link to it or tell me where to? I'd love to look at it. Stealth skirts for the Trident. I'll look for it in a second. Okay, we're going to go 4 walls, 5 top, 5 bottom. I like anyways, whatever. We're going to do a 40% infill. And I like gyroid. Don't need any supports. Don't need anything else. We're fine. Filament we have selected is correct. We're going to slice the plate. It's going to be about 3.5 hours for these 2 pieces. No, it's going to be about 2 hours and 14 minutes. Oh, 3 hours and 23 minutes. I was close. Look at that. Yeah, because they're fairly big. There we go. And so if we print the plate, we're going to the KP. No, I don't want the KKPP one. Do I have the wrong printer selected overall here? They are pretty. What printer do I have selected here? KK. Why do I have that? I want my DeWitt 3D P1P. Come on. Prepare. Resync. Polylite. That's not ASA that's in the first. Polylite ASA. That is not ASA. Let me double check. It's not ASA. Oh, it might be. Maybe it is. Oh, it is ASA. I didn't realize that. Okay. I'll run it in ASA. I don't mind. Oh, matters not to me. I'll have to look that up. I'll look that up in a second, Brent. Just got to reload this filament here. I didn't think it was. Oh, I got the bright sun coming in here right now again. It's making my face look like, whoa. Okay, hurry up and load. There we go. Polylite ASA, that's fine. And then we'll go prepare polylite ASA. Now if I slice it again, 3 hours and 38 minutes. That's fine. Print plate. DeWitt 3D P1P send. There we go. And I got my top lid open. I cannot run fully enclosed on this machine without overheating, especially on a 3-hour print. So that's fine. That's just a flaw of the enclosure for the P1P, the P1S enclosure. Supposedly it didn't give it the proper ventilation that it should have. So, okay. Let's go look. I'm curious. Brent's got me curious now. I want to go look. Send it to you on Discord. You'll post it. Stealth skirt. Trident stealth skirts. Let's look it up. It's always something new, isn't there? Printables.com has it. Trident stealth skirts. Okay, what am I looking at here? Let's see. Oh. It's pretty sweet looking. Oh, wow. Oh, that is sweet looking. Oh, I love that. Hang on, go back. I like the look of that. Look at the gold with the gold frame. Oh, that is sharp. That is really sharp. Oh man. Me may have to change them. Look at that. Oh, I like that display holder they got there too. That is beautiful. Oh, that is nice. Joe, a skirt rebuild maybe. 2.4. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that is nice. I love that gold frame. Look at that. Oh, that is incredible. I love that. Oh man. And I still have some of this filament. I may have to order some more of the gray, but I still have some of the orange filament left. Oh, that is beautiful. That is, I'm sorry to say, that is sexy. I'm going to get a new skirt. Yes. That is just great. Look, I love that. Oh, and I like the way they put the silver in there with the fan covers. That is awesome. Oh, that's interesting. They got 4 fans. One's usually just a vent out, but 4 fans to cool it off. Oh, that is, yeah, Brent, that is beautiful. I love the display cover. Yep. Just when I thought I was done, just when I thought I was out of the build, they pull me back in. Oh, there's an Al Pacino reference for you. But yeah, that is sexy. Oh, and look at that. Stealth Trident. Jeez. And it works with the inverted elect. Yeah, it does. Nice. Okay. Well, Brent, thanks. I love that's combined in with that one piece. I'm going to have to look this up. Obviously, there's going to be a place to download these files. Oh, right here. The files are right here. I'm just too excited. I'm like shaking here going, whoa, this is awesome. It's called a kilt, you guys. We don't want one into output fans. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. How many files are there involved in this? Oh, and they have the 250, 300, 350, and inverted electronics mod. Oh, man. I don't know. Oops. I just accidentally hit the, oops. Man, I accidentally hit the download button. What happened there? What's my Trident? A 250? Oops. 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 I guess I could just download all model files. Hang on, is that all model files for the 250? Yeah, maybe it is. Oops. I accidentally hit, I don't know why, what got into me. I accidentally hit these buttons. What did I just do? What did I just do? I just accidentally downloaded a bunch of files. Damn, I got to print them now. But they don't have anything like that for the 2.4, huh? That is nice. Okay. Zombie Hedgehog posted that as well. Oh, he posted the link to that. There we go. Nice. Oh, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. This guy. I've seen him before. Oh, it's a 2-hour video. I just want to skip through it. Oh, I don't want to see what he's done here. Okay, that looks so nice. Is he going to show the bottom? Where's the bottom? No, that's just doing his build. Oh man, that looks nice. Look at his colors. So they got the blue accents with the gray. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, that is sweet. Well, I have to stick with my current color scheme. I'm not going to say unfortunately, but I don't want to. I don't want to rebuild the whole thing again. I'm happy with the colors I've got in there. That's the Polymaker ASA filament, so Galaxy color. So I think I'll stick with those. But boy, that is nice. Damn you, Brent! Why'd you have to show me that? No, it's a Voron. I need another one. Oh man, I'll have to get a hold of LDO and say, hey, listen, um, all my viewers want me to do a new Trident with this a new. All my viewers want me to do a Trident with the stealth skirts, and they'll laugh at me. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you everybody for the wonderful, wonderful ideas. Meaning, I have to rebuild something on this thing. Like those skirts make this thing look like an antique now. That looks Star Trek-ish. And I have no problem. I'm redoing the hot end on the 2.4, as you all know. We're gonna put the XOL toolhead kit on it eventually, and we're doing Ramus front idlers, blah blah blah. I'm thinking, should I just rebuild the 2.4 and just make it some nice bright colors? Uh, so you have no doubt that if a guy sees you build it, he would say the same thing you did. Yeah, Kermit. Yes, that is true, Kermit. A mutual friend is returning, so which is good. It's good news. So I'm gonna reach out to my contacts and see if I can't. I don't need another printer. I don't need another printer. But for the sake of the community and the sake of educating everybody, I would take one. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope I didn't bore you too much with my spreadsheet stuff. And we'll print them out, and I'm gonna get this this new display now that it's working. So why does need matter? James, exactly. Anyways, okay, guys, listen, thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys. And we'll be out of here. We'll see you guys back next Sunday, same time. And then I'm taking a week off because I'm going away, man, somewhere, man. I don't know where I'm going yet, man, but I am going away. You'll build your pancake trident alongside you if I do it. Okay, well, let me see if I can get that sponsored. If I can get that sponsored, Andrew, you got a deal. But I'm going to see. I'm going to reach out and see. It can't hurt to ask. So you got here at the end again, Mike. You did. Why? You know, I start 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time every week. Every week. I'll be on next week, but then I'm taking a holiday. I'm going away for a well-deserved holiday with the family to some island somewhere. But we'll be back next Sunday and we'll talk to you about it then. So everybody have a great week. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the hangouts and everybody that's hanging out. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now. Bye-bye.